Hi guys, I thought we'd do a couple basic factoring exercises. So if you're not quite ready for the AC method, but want to work on basic factoring first, you can see a few examples. Alright, here we have x squared plus 2x minus 8 equals 0. And they're asking us to solve for the 2x intercepts or the two solutions to this quadratic. We can draw a little x chart to help us, and we know that we're looking for factors of -8 that add up to 2. We're not going to have to use the AC method for this one, but we can still use this handy dandy chart because the x squared is by itself and there is no coefficient in front of it but 1. When we go about factoring this, we can go ahead and set up our two binomials right away and put x in each. And remembering it will be set equal to 0. Now, what are our two factors going to be? If you need a -8, you know they need to be different. One needs to be plus, one needs to be minus. Opposite signs in order to get a negative product. Now, if I take an 8 and a 1, since one would be plus, one would be minus, that leaves me with plus or minus 7. So instead, I got to go with 4 and 2. And since I am going to be adding up to a 2, the 4 has to be the positive and the 2 has to be the minus. And if you get those confused at first, just go ahead and switch them around until you get it right. So 4 plus -2 is positive 2, and 4 times -2 is -8. So we take our plus 4, put it in our binomial, and our -2, put it in our binomial, and we have our two solutions. All we got to do is solve for them. With these ones, it's a nice one-step equation, which is nice, but if you would show your work, that'd be great. Subtract 4 from both sides to get x is -4 as a solution, and add 2 to both sides. So you get x is 2 as a solution, and those are our two answers. You'll notice they are the opposites of what's in here, but that always won't work out. In this case, it's a one-step equation, so that's why it works out. Alright, we're going to do a couple more just to make sure you're good on the basic factoring. Another one we have is x squared plus 11x plus 24. So with these, we know it's basic factoring again because of the x2 being by itself. So we can go right to our parentheses. And we're looking for numbers that are going to multiply to 24 and add to positive 11. Since the 24 is positive, the only way you're going to get that is if you have either two minuses or two pluses. Since this 11 is positive, that means both of the factors have to be positive. A positive plus a positive is positive, and a positive times a positive is a positive. Now, what factors of 24 are going to get you 11? I tried 6 and 4 at first, but that gets you 10 when you add them. But 8 and 3 get you 11. So they end up being a plus 8 and a plus 3. And if this was set equal to 0 and they wanted you to solve for the roots, you would go ahead and set both of these parts equal to 0. Draw your fence and show your work on how you got x is -8 and x is -3. And you can always go back and check by foiling out this right here, and you should get back to this. So everybody should get 100% when it comes to test day for this. Alright, next problem we're going to do is x squared minus 7x plus 10. You know it's a basic quadratic, so we can go right to our binomials. And if you want to draw this little chart, you can. So you want things that multiply to 10 and add to a -7. If they have to multiply to a positive, they have to be the same. That means we need to also look at our middle number, or a -7, because it has to add up to a negative. same sign, but add up to negative, that means they both have to be minuses. And you think of the factors of 10, kind of put the negatives aside, but what factors of 10 are going to add up to 7? 5 and 2. So we're going to put a -5 and a -2 in each of these. And if it was asking you to solve, so if it was set equal to 0, you'd take x minus 5 equals 0 and x minus 2 equals 0, and show your work on how you brought over the 5 and got positive 5, and show your work on how you brought over the 2, change its side, change its sign, so we get x is 5 and x is 2. Once again, if you want to check, you go ahead and you FOIL that out, do a little distribution, and you should get back to that. Alright, I hope this helps, and if you have any other questions, please let me know.